Am I the asshole for writing something in my journal to expose that my wife was reading it? I am male 29 and my wife is female 28. She is 5 months pregnant. I have a journal that I write in occasionally. My wife knows I have one and I have told her it's private. I don't have any big secrets, but it's a private space for me to write out some thoughts and give me time to think. A week ago I started to suspect that my wife was reading my journal. I had written that it would be nice to see a friend again because we hadn't seen each other in over 2 years. The next day my wife asked me about how that friend was doing and if we were planning on meeting up any time. I found that a bit coincidental. Then I started thinking back on some other coincidences, such as my wife getting me something relatively obscure for my birthday that I had written about. I wanted to be absolutely sure, so last night I wrote a fake thought that my wife was gaining too much weight in pregnancy and becoming unattractive. She's not, she's fit and fine. That sounds harsh, but I wanted to write something that 100% was fake and I never had said or implied, or something my wife would just ignore. Well, today I went out to get groceries and came home to my wife crying. I asked her why and she said she can't believe I thought she was overweight and unattractive. I asked her where she heard that and she threw my journal at me. I asked her why she was reading my journal that she knew was private. She said that's not the point, the problem is what I wrote. I told her the whole point was for me to catch her reading it, and now I know she does. She called me an asshole and said I need to apologize. By this time I was pretty mad, so I said I will never apologize for anything I wrote in my journal, and she needs to realize that she is the only one who did something wrong, otherwise we have bigger problems in our relationship. She wanted me to leave the house but I refused, so she is staying at her sister's now. I am committed to holding my line and not compromising, but I am still angry, so am I the asshole? Edit. There are a ton of comments misconstruing what I meant and why I wrote it, so I want to clarify. 1. I do not find my wife fat or unattractive. 2. I did not write that in my journal just to insult her. 3. I did not know that she was going to read my journal. I had suspicions and the point of writing it was to see if she was reading my journal or not. Fuck everybody in these comments trying to put the blame on you original poster. This situation would have never happened if your wife didn't repeatedly violate your trust. There's at least 3 instances you know of where she betrayed your trust. She would have never seen your fake journal entry if she hadn't violated your privacy. I'm all for being the bigger person if it means keeping the peace, but she has shown zero remorse for her actions. Then she has the audacity to want you to apologize for her fuck up. I'd die on that hill. Edit. Not the asshole for everybody pointing out that I never said it explicitly. Finally, a sane comment. Greater than fuck everybody in these comments trying to put the blame on you original poster. Couldn't agree more. I like all the comments that are like, you wrote something you knew would hurt her. He wrote something that would trigger confirmation of her snooping and lying. That's not the same thing. Yeah, exactly. He had to write something triggering to see if she'd respond. Only way to find out definitely. Am I the asshole? Screeching enforce boundaries. Red flags. Divorcee. Original poster. Implements plan to confirm boundaries being crossed. Am I the asshole? Not like THAAAAAAAT. Dysfunctional. LMAO. Not the asshole. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. But your wife is definitely going to take this more personally than you probably intended. Hindsight is 20/20. You should probably apologize for specifically making it about her weight, but that also doesn't rule out a conversation about why she shouldn't have been reading your journal in the first place. Am I the asshole only cares about boundaries being enforced when you're not enforcing those boundaries on a pregnant woman. Pregnant women can pretty much do no wrong in this sub. I bet you everything this was going on long before she was pregnant. I feel like claiming 10K in gambling debt would have been a better gamble than my pregnant wife is fat. So much this original poster has a right to their private journal, but displayed a grave lack of foresight in choosing a fake scenario to write in it. Also, because it relates to what he thinks about his wife, it will be impossible for him to prove that the entry wasn't real. He may have damaged his marriage. It would have been much smarter to come up with a different fake scenario, or even to have written something like, I'm starting to suspect that my wife is reading my journal, which would be a massive betrayal of my trust. Yeah, but it's, am I the asshole, not, am I the dumbass? Not the asshole. She violated your personal space on more than one occasion. It was a little gnarly to write what you did in order to expose her. You could have written something else, but I'm on your side here. I hear what you're saying, but she violated his trust. If this isn't the hill to die on, them what is? As I said, I'm on original poster's side here. but that was a tad savage, especially towards his pregnant wife. My judgment was not the asshole. I'm not sure what else you'd like me to say. Not the asshole. I don't understand the YTA or ESH comments. Spouse or not, you are entitled to having your private thoughts. For some people, it's the same as therapy. Unless invited to a therapy session, no one under any circumstances should feel entitled to your personal thoughts. Did none of you have a sibling or diary growing up? Yeah, he tricked her and wrote something he shouldn't have because he knew she was reading it. That's beside the point, though. She shouldn't have looked, and he told her it was private. Pregnancy doesn't give her an excuse. Not the asshole. This is a classic fake bait to expose the wife's breach of trust. Could you have gone with better bait? Maybe. But you could have gone evil and wrote down lyrics to a song that never gets out of your head. She doesn't get to play victim card here when she was wholly in the wrong in the first place. Also reverse the genders and how many ESHs would go not the asshole. For that alone, I go not the asshole. Don't like what you find in someone else's private diary? Maybe don't read it and respect their privacy? In a way, this will be a song that will never leave her head. She will always feel insecure about this. He'll never entirely convince her it was fake, and it's because she decided to take the coward's way of finding out what original poster was thinking instead of talking to him. That's the curse of eavesdropping. Edit. Not sure why people keep thinking I'm in some way defending her reading his journal. She shouldn't have done it. This is a consequence for her, and it's unfortunate that it wasn't what original poster intended. That's all. Yup, and she's got nobody to blame but her. Oof, I'm going with not the asshole. That being said, I think you could have chosen something other than her weight, which might be a sensitive area during pregnancy. I get what you were going for, something you knew she would confront you. However, she is an asshole. You asked for privacy regarding something very personal, and she repeatedly violated it and has absolutely no remorse for her behavior. Instead, she is playing the victim card. All she has managed to do is prove that she is not trustworthy. If there is no trust and respect in a marriage, then there is no marriage. Agree with you on the point, it could have been something else. Something controversial but not personal, at least not this personal. But original poster not the asshole, although I'm pretty sure you both need to have a very thorough discussion about boundaries. No offense, but fuck all the ESH people. It's original poster's private journal and he should be able to write whatever the hell he wants in there. What original poster's wife did was a massive breach of privacy. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Not the asshole. Take my poor man's gold. Those were my exact thoughts reading these everyone sucks here comments. She shouldn't have been reading his journal. She'd be pissed if it was reversed. Not the asshole. That's a huge breach of trust on her part. 100% inappropriate. Not the asshole. I write in a journal, too, and what is written there is so incredibly personal that I don't want anyone reading it. I'm 100% honest and blunt. It is not for anyone else. My ex-husband didn't understand that. One of the many reasons he's an ex. It's fucked up that she violated your trust so many times. While it was harsh, I don't blame you. Do not give in. Not the asshole. I know a lot of people are going on about what was said. But the issue is not about what was said. Original poster asked if they are the asshole for exposing their wife and proving that she violated his trust and privacy. Now as for advice for original poster. You do need to get communication going again. It would help to say, I'm sorry that I chose hurtful words knowing you were going through a lot of hormonal changes with the pregnancy. I was blindsided by my anger and I didn't handle it well. I do not at all feel that about you. Or just something to that effect. You then need to firmly inform her she broke your trust severely and that it will take work to rebuild it. Accept no deflecting and no, but I'm your wife, arguments or things of the like. Remind her that both of you are allowed to have things private and a marriage is not a free pass to your partner's things. Hold your ground original poster. This is in fact a hill to die on. It's not about the journal itself, but the trust she shattered. I find it refreshing that you choose rebuilding the relationship and include advice in your comment. On Reddit, everybody says, get a divorce, to everything. Edit. Well, obviously not everybody, but I see it too much lol. Not the asshole. Do not apologize and tell her you two need counseling before the baby is born. Not the asshole. +1 counseling is really important. If she doesn't understand her betrayal and does this to your child, she's going to do serious damage. And your wife has no excuse. The point is that she violated your trust. You don't owe her an apology. She is not the victim. She owes you an apology, and a concrete solution on how she plans to ensure that you feel safe to journal, without her violating your trust again. Hypothetically, even if you meant what you wrote, the point of a journal is to express, dump thoughts and emotions. Having to filter your journal in fear that someone might invade your privacy totally takes away the therapeutic factor of journaling. Exactly. Truth of the matter may well be that he doesn't find a pregnant body attractive, and he could have been really struggling with feeling that way. He shouldn't be hated for something he can't help. We all have preferences of what attracts us body-wise, and she's not going to be pregnant forever. His journal should be his safe place. She should learn some respect for his right to privacy. Not the asshole. We all have boundaries that should not be crossed. She crossed those boundaries by violating your trust. She needs to give you an apology. 2 wrongs don't make a right. But 3 left do. You left the fake entry, then left the journal for her to find, then she left to her sisters. Not the asshole.